This is my vehicle of choice in the zombie apocalypse. The nice thing about a van is you got a nice big opening right here to shoot zombies. It would be nice to have a deuce and a half 6x6, an MRAP Hummer H1, but this is what you roll in if you're on a budget. This is a lifted two-wheel drive build with a rear locking diff, selectable locker right here, open diff, locked. This is an Ox Locker. Ox Locker right there. DIY storage box. Some camping chairs, recovery boards. If you're familiar with sportsmobiles, you know they're $100,000 plus. I have less than $20,000 into this van build. This is a 1999 Ford Econoline E350 with a 6.8 V10. I bought it for $6,800 with 104,000 miles. Look up the popular off-road vehicles like a 4Runner, Tacoma, Wrangler, and they're going to be a lot more money than this. So this is a lot of vehicle for the money. Tacomas, Wranglers, 4Runners, they don't got room like this. Suburbans and Excursions don't even have space like this. This is a car guy in me talking. So from 97 to 2014, Ford ran the modular motors, 4.6, 5.4 V8, and the 6.8 V10, basically the same motor. They share all common parts like the water pump, ignition coils. So in the zombie apocalypse, O'Reilly's, AutoZone, Pep Boys, they're gonna have parts for these vans in stock. So you wanna be able to repair your vehicle easily in the zombie apocalypse. This is a ORW Baja Eliminator light bar. My buddy Ryan, he reproduced these. So if you want one of these light bars or a side ladder, way cheaper than aluminum is. If you have one of these vans, 92 to 2014, my buddy Ryan makes these. If you want a two-wheel drive lift kit for your van, I recommend Action Van Suspension. If you could do it yourself, $2,000. If you live near San Clemente or you want to make the road trip, the install is about $4 grand, a little under $4 grand. Salt Lake City, Utah, Wasatch Overland, they carry Action Van Suspension lift kits too. So if you're closer to them, they also install it for $4 grand. So that's who I recommend for a two-wheel drive lift kit if you want to do a van build out. These vans come with 30-inch tires stock. With the lift kit, I have 33-inch tires. I got a 410 re-gear and a rear locker at the same time. That's going to run you about $4,000 for 410s and a selectable locker. If you want to go cheaper, 410 re-gear and an auto locker is going to be about $2,500. And I recommend it if you're going to go with a two-wheel drive lifted van build. Air down the tires to about 20 PSI. They do really well. Fonts Point in a 4x4 ambulance and two-wheel drive lifted vans. Check out our company. I can't believe this channel is 15 years old. I was gone for about 7 years and I saw all the comments you guys left me over the last 7 years and I really appreciate it. It's why I'm back on here. I will address why I was gone for so long. Maybe in this video, maybe another one. But the reason why I'm rolling in a van still is because 15 years ago, I actually had my van longer than that. I had my other van for 17 years ago. Then I started this channel. So I had my other van, bought it for my dogs, and the animal shelter carried a lot of pet food. So I was volunteering a lot at the time. So when I got into guns, I was looking for a cool spot to shoot at. Took my van out with my dogs, and I ended up loving the off-roading, the middle of nowhere spots. I got into camping. Then I wanted to lift my van. So my original van build, I'll share it here somewhere. Maybe I shared it already in this video, but I got so into that that I started doing videos on vans. So this was never a fad for me. I went all in on the van. Why didn't I go four-wheel drive conversion? Because it's always been expensive. If you're familiar with the van culture going on right now, a U-joint 4x4 is like 30 grand. Like I said, you go with action van suspension, two-wheel drive with the rear locker. You could do some cool things, and I'm going to share that. And then the other reason I didn't go four-wheel drive is because I got a Geo tracker. So my dream has always been have a van that could do a little off-roading, but I always wanted a small Suzuki 4x4 to tow behind my van. So I got this two-wheel drive lifted rear locker, and I got a four-wheel drive little Suzuki. So my dream has always been sleep in this and wake up to some off-roading in my little Suzuki. It's one happy dog right here. No, I don't put backpacks on my dogs. This is a dog, not a donkey. This guy hasn't really moved. He's just laying there. That's a good life right there. Alright, this guy finally got out of the car. Want to move around a little, buddy? Good job. This guy moved around a lot today. Sun's gonna come down here in the next 30 or 40 minutes. Okay, this is gonna be the fun part. My tires are pretty muddy right now because it's still pretty muddy from the rain, so let's see if I get stuck. Skinny ass 235 tires. So let's see if I spend the night out here. Here's the part I'm worried about. Alright, we're good. Alright. Looks like I'm not spending the night out here. Alright, here's my Econoline painted in bed liner. Alright, here's my Ford Econoline lifted. If you've been watching my channel for a while now, you know I'm a huge Resident Evil fan, the video games and the movie. So in Resident Evil Apocalypse, there's a van in there. So that always gave me the idea, maybe I should do an off-road van build. Always loved vans, even ever since I was a kid. That's why I ended up picking one up, just for an excuse to drive one, really. You know what, I need a van for my dogs. And then, like I said, I just got into it so much. So what are you gonna do in the zombie apocalypse? You're gonna find a cool spot to chill at. Hopefully you got a cool crew, you got some guns, and you just live out the rest of your days playing some retro video games. Like I said, I would love a deuce and a half, six-wheel drive, MRAP, Hummer H1, but I don't got the budget for that, so I'm rolling in a Ford Econoline van with some retro video games. If the zombie apocalypse happens, I have a house on wheels, nice big opening to headshot zombies. And this folds into a bed. I got a fridge, I got solar, chilling in the desert with my cats. What are you up to? What are you doing? Checking the place out? Don't jump. You're gonna go back to your house? You did good. That's pretty good. Come out again. Try it again. Try it again. Shout out to Action Van Suspension, full tilt off-road. If you don't have a Ford Econoline van, they also work on suspensions for other vehicles, so check them out. They're good friends of mine. I have an itch to pick up 3 or 4 guns right now, so I wanted to see if I could still log on to this channel. So when I was able to log on, I saw a backlog of 7 years of comments, a lot of negative ones. I didn't forget how people used to talk to me, calling me an idiot, I'm gonna kill myself, I'm gonna lose an eye. I'm like, oh yeah, gun Karens. I remember these guys now. But then I saw all the really good comments that made me want to come back here. A lot of people calling me an OG, A lot of people telling me they miss my gun videos, and the one that really made me want to start uploading again, if you guys are still around, is a lot of you were telling me I was part of your childhood. So I'm thinking about that. This channel is 15 years old. So I was like 27, 28 when I started this channel. I'm 43 now. Still the same guy in the heart, but more refined now. So my style of making gun videos isn't going to change. I'm still going to talk about Resident Evil and the zombie apocalypse, and you know what made you guys like me is what made others hate me. So I guess you can't have fun being into guns. And here I am 15 years later. I didn't end up shooting myself or hurting myself like the gun Karens thought I would. But I'll do a longer video on why I left. But long story short, man, one of the main reasons I left, besides seeing all the gun Karens, I didn't want to hate gun owners, man. We're on the same team. But my first 2 years on this channel, I was growing fast. I think like the first 2 years I got like 5,000 subscribers, and then after that I got like 100. So I was growing fast. I was giving everyone a shout out because I wanted to take everyone on the journey with me. I'm not a gatekeeper. So then you saw how the YouTube gun community became, and I heard it's still the same way. It became all about the money and people being a brand, and then friends started turning on friends. So for me, a couple of friends that I really liked turned on me, and then friends that turned on me were friends with my friends. So I didn't want to be involved with that. You know, in life there's a lot of guilt by association, so I just walked away. But then again I said I got the itch to get some guns, and I saw the backlog of 7 years of comments. So where did I end up? I ended up talking about my automotive hobby. A couple of you followed me on that journey, and shockingly I did pretty well. So I gave Action Van Suspension a shout out. My first van build was lifted by them in 2012. So yeah, we became good friends. And then Wasatch Overland in Salt Lake City, Utah. So if you're closer to San Clemente, California, you want to lift your two-wheel drive van, check out Full Tilt Off-Road in Action Van Suspension, same company, in San Clemente. But if you're closer to Salt Lake City, Utah, they carry Action Van lifts, and they install the Action Van lifts for just under $4,000. And on my other channel, if you want my other channel, let me know in the comment section. I'll link you. Wasatch Overland wants me to be an ambassador for their brand. This is a standard roof in one of these vans. Wasatch Overland wants me to become an ambassador of their company. I put a high roof on here so I could stand in my van, have a lot more room. So I did pretty well for myself on my other channel. So what should I do being back on this channel? Is it time to go camping? I could still do a little running and gunning. I'm not that old yet, 43. I try to take care of myself. Firearms rescue project? Or is that 2010? All right, guys, it's nice talking to you guys again. I'll catch you in the next one. U-joint 4x4 ambulance build. Action Van Suspension. Plenty of clearance. Looking good. That ambulance builds a monster. It's more an RV than a van.